Right, and I've remembered to start the recording, which is a big achievement for me because often I'll run these things and I won't record it, and then halfway through I'll go, oh shit, I haven't recorded it. So I have remembered to do that, so that's a good thing. So Canva, let me do a screen share and then you'll all be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, can everyone see that? Oh, it's just a Word document now. Yep, okay. Cool. So Canva is an awesome little free tool that you can use to create beautiful graphics for your products and for your social media content, for your flyers if you make flyers to, you know, letterbox drop or whatever. It's really, really versatile, and I think I use it almost every single day. So I didn't realise, I think I've been using it for so long that I just assumed that everyone knew how to use it, and recently I've been getting lots of messages saying that people have been struggling with it and, you know, they're having trouble. So that's why I did this. I'm doing this training because I don't really find it difficult to use. So it might just be I've been doing it for so long. So excuse me, I'm on the Barocca. I've got a bit of a cold today. Okay, so I have like a bucket of water here to drink, so you'll have to excuse me while I keep drinking that while we're going. Okay, so this is what the dashboard looks like when you first go into Canva. And so there's loads and loads of templates that you can use to create your designs. And essentially what I'm going to do is just show you what I do. There's a lot of functionality that I don't use because I feel that I don't need it. But once you kind of get the basics down, you can have a bit of an explore and figure out all of the rest of the stuff as well. There's two versions of Canva. There's the free version and there's a paid upgrade that you can use that's called Canva for Work. And that gives you some extra functionality, and you can save fonts and do all of those kinds of things and create a team and all the rest of it. For my purposes, I don't find that I need the paid version. I can kind of find workarounds for most of that stuff. And I'm actually going to show you one of my workarounds today as well. Okay, so let's have a look at just here. If you click on this plus, you'll see all of the different templates that you can use. There, like just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, all solids. Okay, so here where it says all of your designs, you'll find, as it says, all of the designs that you've created recently. So this is like a little voucher that I made for a girlfriend who was had bought tickets for Cirque du Soleil for her sister for Christmas, and the tickets didn't arrive in time. So she needed to have something to wrap up. So I made her like a little invitation gift voucher thing to give to Marley for her Christmas present. I just need to move this so that I can close that down now. Okay. So these are all the kinds of things that I've done recently. What I want to show you is if you go to over here where it says your brand. Okay. So in this section, you can save some branding colours for yourself so that you have a consistent look to your marketing material as you're going along. So these are the colours that I often come back to. So I've saved them in there. If you have upgrade to Canva for Work, you can set brand fonts in here. So you can choose the fonts that you always use over and over again. And again, it adds to your consistency. You can upload your logo in here, but my workaround for this is that if I'm doing work for a client that has a logo, I just upload it as a photo, as a JPEG, and drag it across onto my design and figure it out from there. So I don't think you really need this, but you know, some people may. in this section down here where it says uploaded fonts, you can upload your own fonts that aren't already in Canva. But again, for my purposes, there's probably enough fonts in the system as it is. So I'm happy to use those. I don't know if you're interested in the pricing. I meant to. Okay, so here's, no, that's not the page I wanted. That's not what I want, and it won't let me out now. Well, that's handy, isn't it? Okay. So, okay, so for Canva for work, it's about $13 US a month. That was kind of what I was looking for anyway. Okay, so that's the Your Brand page there. Okay, to get back to the dashboard, if you just go back to all your designs, and it will come up with the template option and all the designs that you've made recently. Shared with you is if someone sends you their design through Canva, and Create a Team, I believe, is an upgrade as well. So you can have 2 folders for free with the free version to save your different designs in. But what I discovered was that if I was to drag one of these designs over to a folder like this, so now that one will appear in my client folder, it still actually appears here in all my designs anyway. So the object for me would be to clean up this area down here and get rid of some of these designs. But if I delete that from here, then it deletes from the folder as well. So it kind of misses the point a bit for me with that one, but you know, that's an option as well. Okay, so what I wanted to show you as a first step that's a really good idea to do when you're starting out a business and you've got your brand going on and things like that is to create a bit of a design swipe file, branding swipe file. So this is one that I did a little while ago, just that I kind of threw together with some odd colours and things. So on it, I've included, I don't know if you can see that really well. Try and make it a bit bigger. Okay. So on it, I've included some fonts that I use as a regular. So I'm in a design, I might use this font as a heading, and then this font underneath with, you know, the topic or the subject text. And then all the colours that I use as a regular, and I've put their hex values there. So every colour on the colour spectrum has a hex value that is applied to it. And so when you're searching for a colour in loads and loads of applications, you just search for the hex colour and you will have exactly the same colour consistently throughout all of your things. So I'm just going to quickly walk you through how to create one of these for yourself, and a couple of little tips about finding colours and using colours as well. So let's go back to here. The one that, the template that I use for when I'm doing a branding swipe file is just the A4 document. So if you just open one of those. And I'll just okay. So if you go to Google and you Google colour picker, or if you can spell colour picker, then that's great. If you can't, Google will spell it for you. Stop laughing at me. I can see you all. You think I can't see you? I can totally see you. Can't see Beck because she's gotten all clever and turned her video off. But I bet she's laughing at me too. Okay, so this is a colour spectrum here. If I drag it over and go all Barbie pink on you, I can put my mouse anywhere along here and you can see that it's got the actual hex colour there, right? So I can choose any colour and pick up the hex colour that I'm after. Another great little tool is this one. And I'll put this link in the, what I'm going to do with this video is I'll upload it to YouTube and I'll put all these links in the comments so you'll be able to find them. Okay, so this is a little free website. And what you can do is choose an image and let's just get one at the beach. Okay, and you can put your mouse anywhere on the image and it will pick up on the right-hand side there. Can you see that? The actual colour on that image. So if I go for the rock, then it gives me the exact grey of that rock. If I go for this bit of water down here, it's kind of struggling there, but the blue of the sky looks like. I kind of want to get that a little bit darker. Right, let's go the grey. No, let's go the blue. Let's make a decision. Min's got a cold today. She's not thinking very well. Bear with her. Okay, so you can see that it gives you the hex code right there. So what you can then do is copy that and just save it somewhere so that you've got it. So that's the colour of the sky. I'll just make a note of that so then I remember, right? So that's a really cool little tool to do. Now, the other thing that you can do is do some work on figuring out a colour palette. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll pick the colour that I definitely know I want. So say in this example, this blue, and then I might just add in the colours that work around it, you know. So in this area, under your brand, there's this little button here that says Colour Palette Inspiration. If you click on that, Canva Design School have a lot of really great blogs that will help you to get your designs looking really, really great. So this is 20 different colour palettes to give you some inspiration. Just have to wait for a minute or two for them to load. Now, the problem that you have with Canva is you get lost in it for days. Usually when I teach somebody this, I'll tell them to make sure that there's food in the kitchen for their kids because they may not come out of Canva for about 3 or 4 days. And, you know, kids have to eat. So you can get lost in looking at all of these beautiful colours all together for days and days and days and messing around with getting the exact right hex number. And I know because I've done it, but the thing to remember is that while you're getting lost in finding the exact right shade of jacaranda blue, you're not making money, okay? And nobody is going to say to themselves, well, I'm not going to buy from her because she didn't have the exact right shade of jacaranda blue. It's not going to happen. It's not a thing. So this is an instance where close enough may just actually be good enough, you know? So yes, get some inspiration. Yes, spend some time having fun and playing around, but don't get lost in the system for 4 days, okay? These kinds of colour palettes are found really, really easily on Pinterest as well. And Pinterest is the biggest time suck for me, so I tend to avoid it because I do stay there for a weekend. But that's an idea on how to find some different colour ideas. So, okay, so let's get on and build our design thing. Oh no, that's right. I wanted to show you this. So when you're adding your colours in here, I'm just going to make a note of this so that I can pop it back in. It will have, when you haven't got the 3 there, it'll just have a little plus there. What's with Barbie Pink wanting me today? And so then you just type in your hex colour there and press enter and it'll come up, okay? The other thing actually I wanted to show you too is that when you're looking at fonts, there is the best blog here under that button there, where the Canva people have actually matched up and paired all the fonts that work well together that they have in their system. So you don't have to think about it. You can just go to this blog and go, I like the look of that. And so League Spartan is the name of the font that you would use for your heading. Libre Baskerville in italics would be your subheading, and then Libre Baskerville on its own would be your body text font. Okay. So I might actually leave this one open because I quite like that, and we might use that one for our branding thing, yeah? So Julius Sands 1 is our first one. Now, I'll leave the document as blank, as white, because I don't need to fuss it around with too much colour. So first job is to drag over a heading. Okay, this is where you choose your fonts. So it was Julius Sands, wasn't it? J comes before K, doesn't it? There we go. Julius Sands 1. So I've just dragged that out. And when you're moving these elements around, when you want to move it, it comes up with those little arrows. This little twisty arrow here will turn it for you if you want to turn it. And the degrees at the bottom, can you see underneath that hand? There's a degree symbol that tells you what angle you're at, so you know when you've got it straight again. Okay. Now, while those dots are around the element, you're able to drag it around. When it's centered, it will give you a line to tell you it's centered like that, yeah? When you click on the writing and highlight it, you're able to type over. Okay, so you can see that that's gone on to the next line there. So what I'm going to do is just drag that over. It's centered according to here. That's centered within this box. It's not centered within your design. So I'll need to move this element again to get that little line down the middle to come up, yeah? Okay, so where's that other, where's that blob gone? There. Okay, so League Gothic is the next one, and that looks to me like it might be bold. So subheading, centered. Let's find League Gothic. There it is. Okay, so that looks a little small to me. So I'm just going to highlight all of that and make that font here a little bit larger. Actually, it's not bolded. There isn't actually an option to bold it, this one. Okay, so that's fine. Just going to move that up, and again, making sure that it's centered. Not that it really matters, but so for these purposes, but in your designs, then it probably will. Okay, so I'll just drag this one. What's that? Josephine Sands. Can anyone read that? I can't read that. It's so small. It needs to be bigger. Okay, cool. Now, can you see how that's got extra lines now? That's centering itself with all of those texts there, okay? So now what I'm going to do is just add in another one here. And I'm going to make it Josephine Sands, but I'm going to show you the difference that it can make if you bold or italics it. Some of the fonts won't allow you to bold or italics. So what I do usually is just make a note that I've actually bolded that font, and that's what it looks like, okay? Okay, so the next job is to add in some colours. What you can also do is you can upload a photo that you've used as inspiration. So we might just use this beachy one that, that we had, because that was kind of cool, right? So all you need to do is find the photo that you're after, and if you're going to use it in Canva, you just drag it over to here, and that will upload that. So I'm just going to go ahead while that's loading and grab these hex colours so that then we can use those as well. Oh, that's not right. Here we go. I might just try and find one more. Okay, cool. So we've got 4 colours there. It doesn't really matter how many you want to use. So then I usually go to elements, and these are all the different things that you can add in. Canva has free photos that you can use, and these are all stock photos that they're royalty free. So you can use them in your advertising. You're also able to Google search for whatever images you want. So we might look for a cake. Might be feeling a bit hungry. Okay, so they're all the photos of cakes. So if you're looking for, you know, advertising an afternoon tea, or I don't know, something like that, you might want to find a photo of a cake. There are also paid options. They tend to just be prettier images. And really for $1, I don't mind, like it's $1 US, so it's a little more for us Aussies, but it doesn't really matter. You know, for me to get a really good image, I'm happy to pay for it. So that's that. You can also add in grids of photos, so you can do like a little photo collage if you want to. You can add in a frame to your photos. Do all sorts of fancy smancies there. Shapes I use a lot, and this one here, lines. So I'm going to add in 3 circles. But what I'm going to do is that I want them all to be about the same size. So I'm going to just drag, again, when you've got dots around your element that you're using, you're able to make the adjustments to it like that, okay? Now, the colour up here is where you change the colour. But for now, what I'm going to do is just hit this copy button at the top here, and that will give me however many of those circles that are all the same size. And then I can just drag them around. And you can see how that's already lining up with one of those. Okay, you know what, I'm just going to delete those and make this a bit smaller, because I just remembered that we wanted to put that photo on, didn't we? So I just want to drag that photo over here. You can see it's going to be huge, but again, I've got the dotted line around it, so I can just drag that down smaller, just to remind us what our inspiration was for this this little design that we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to make this one a bit smaller. Drag it over here and then hit the copy button for 3 times. Make sure that's all lining up. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go in and change those colours. So hit on the colour button and you can choose from here, and you can again go around the colour palette and choose whatever, around the colour wheel and choose whatever colour you want, or you can just paste your hex value into here and that will change that circle to be that colour. Okay, so now what I want to do is remember what that hex number was. So I'll pop this over here, drag in a little bit of text, and I might make that Lee Gothic because it matches our branding. Paste in the hex value. Actually, I'm going to make that a bit bigger. Okay, there we go. So the next one is the grey rock. Add a colour. Paste the hex value there. Actually, what I'm going to do is delete that. So you can see that that's deleted the text there, but the element itself is still there because it's got the dotted line around it. So then I just use this rubbish bin up here to delete that. And I'm going to highlight this and just copy that 3 more times so that I don't have to keep changing that font. I'll just drag that down here. Okay, done. So that's the hex colour for that one. Okay, so now we've got this white colour. So we're going to have a white circle with a white background. That's probably not going to work very well, right? Let's give it a go. Well, it's a light sort of colour, so that's okay, it's sort of light blue. Cool, that's fine. And the last one is that mid-grey. Click on the colour, plus, paste in the hex value, and I believe that we're done. That's that done. So that kind of is a really easy way to get some branding colours together, right? Now, in order to save this, you just need to hit on your download button here, and Canva will download it. You can choose with an A4 document or a lot of the templates, whether you save them as a JPEG, a PNG image, or PDF standard, or a higher quality PDF. If you're expecting people to print it up, then you can do that. So for these purposes, I just do a PDF standard, and that will sit in my downloads. But the copy of that, and it will be a working copy, will sit in my designs over here. So once that's done, all your designs, wait for it, it's coming. Okay, so that's downloading in there now. So that will pop up in a minute or two. Okay, so that's how I do that. When that does pop up, I just do want to show you one more thing that you can do. Sometimes when I'm doing designs, and you might have noticed with the Canva Training image that I used for the advertising there, what I did was I used like a texture. So I used this image here. Now what I've done is gone to a stock photo place, or you could just find like a picture of wood or something that will have like a bit of texture, or even take a photo of yourself with of some aluminium foil or whatever. And I've actually used that as well in some of the work that I've done for the Canva training. And the way that, oh, that wasn't that one. The way that I've added that in is by using a photo. So to add a bit of texture to your design, you scroll all the way down here. Okay, so I'll just use this frame so it turns your image into a circle. Drag that down and then go to the uploads and drag that image across. Oh, that worked well, didn't it? Try it again. It's not working. Maybe I can't remember how to do it. Okay, scrap that. I might have to get back to you on that. That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Okay, I'll show you that another time. Okay, so let's go. Okay, now it's all not working. Okay, I'm just going to stop the share for a minute or two, guys, and while I try and figure this out, because it's just, my laptop's just died. Okay, so there was just a little, it's okay, we're good now. There was just a little message saying, give me a warning, and it had blocked me from doing anything. Okay, so we're good to go now. Right. So when I'm about to launch something, I usually go into Canva and I create two graphics, and then these ones. So I hit on the plus, so I get all of my designs. So what I will usually create is all the way down the bottom, of course. This one here, it's a Facebook ad. Now that size works really well on most social media platforms that I use. So you can adjust it for Instagram, and it works really well on your Facebook advertising. And the other one that I usually do is on my business page, I'll create a Facebook cover. So this one here. So in line with the branding for the product that I'm doing. So they're the two images that I usually make on the outset. Pop them away, and this, the Facebook ad can be used as a banner for your MailChimp emails. It's the right size for that. It can be used for all your advertising. It can be used for your social media content posts, all of those things. So it's a really, really versatile size. So I just find that that's the easiest one, rather than making 14 different designs when you're about to launch a product or something. This just works better. Okay, so the first thing that you might want to do is choose a background colour. Now there's also lots of designs that you can use. So you can use stripes if you want to use stripes. And now if you choose that, you can actually change the colour as well. So that's the colour that it is at the moment, but I don't know what colour we had. You might want to change it to that, whatever you want to do. Okay, or what you can do is you can just do a photo instead. So I'll just go in and delete that background colour. So you can see that I've highlighted that background, and so the dots are around that. When I delete that, that will go and the photo will stay. If you've got elements that are sitting on top of each other but you can't see them, what you can do is arrange it so that it goes back in the mix, yeah? So I'll show you that a bit later. Okay. There we go. So obviously you can see the size here of the Facebook ad, and that doesn't cut that, right? So it needs to be a bit bigger. Now I think that the format of this is not going to allow me to make this large enough to make it a decent picture and still, you know, show us enough of the image. So I think that probably isn't a good choice. Right, what about a party? Let's have a party one. I don't think much of that either. Let's do Instagram. Okay. Now, sometimes you just can't get the image to be big enough to have a decent resolution and to still show you enough of the image that you get the story from the picture, right? So what I'll do sometimes is I'll add in an element, which will be like a rectangle. So choose one of these, move it over to the side. What you can do is make that sort of a light grey kind of colour, and then hit this button up here and it will make it transparent. So you can still see some of the image through, but it kind of extends the whole story a little bit, yeah? So actually I might make just a different colour. No, that kind of looks a bit better. Okay, so what you can do next is add in the story, the text, okay? So there's lots of different formatted ones here that you can use automatically. So you might want to drag this over, for example. And you can change that colour. You want to change that colour. And change obviously what the text says. Now, when I'm using these pre-formatted options over here, I tend not to change the fonts on them because the designers have decided that they work well together, and they generally do work well together. I found if I started messing around with them, that's when I come unstuck and the design just starts to look a bit icky, okay? So I'll get rid of that. So if we go back to our design thing and we start using some of the fonts that we had, and I'll drag over a subheading, and I'll drag over some text. I'll pop it all over here just to make it a bit cleaner. Okay. So it was Julia Sands, wasn't it? Let's change that to Julia Sands. The Gothic. Just make that a little bit bigger. Now I'm going to justify this all left because I think these fonts work well together when they're justified left. And this was Josephine Sands. Probably pronouncing these all wrong. They're quite tricky to say. Where does J come? J comes there. Right. Now, all I need is just for it to say something. So I'm just going to drag that out. Now you can see that that's centered itself there. I just want that to be left justified. And I think that's hiding a little bit, so I'm going to bold that as well. Okay. And we'll line that up with the rest. And we're done. So there's another design. Okay, so now what I want to show you is when you're doing Facebook advertising and you're paying for ads, there's a rule that says that the text on the image that you use in your advertising must not cover more than 20% of the whole image. Now, I'm going to guess that this one's coming pretty close to it. So I would be a little bit nervous about using this image because I think it's got too much text on it. But there is a way to check that. So I'm going to download this as an image, PNG. And I'm going to go to Google. Okay. So what you do is you upload your image here from your downloads. I haven't hit my downloads yet. No, okay, let's just use this one that I've done before. So it will upload it and it will tell me here if that's got less than 20% text on that image. So it might come up with this message here that says image text is low, which means that it's not too bad. It will still reach a certain number of people, but it's not going to get in front of the number of people as though it would if it had this green tick. So just keep that in mind. Just Google 20% text checker or something like that in Google. You'll get to this page and you'll be able to check your image before you get out of Canva. You know, you might have to make some changes to it. Okay. Now it's finished downloading. I was just jumping the gun a bit, wasn't I? Okay. I think that was all I was going to show you, just kind of to give you a little bit of an idea, just some of the basics. Has anyone got any questions? Does anyone want to jump in and ask me anything? Any issues that you've had? No, I'm guessing Beck's still there, but we can't see her. Okay, so I just wanted to make a point about doing this kind of work in your business. And it's really, really important to get everything looking beautiful. But like I was saying before, we can often get really bogged down with getting the right font, and we can spend 4 days trying to figure out if that's the right shade of blue. So we get lost in the things that we think we need to do, and we make them a bit bigger than they really are. But one of the things that I'm really good at is finding the tasks that you need to do in order to make the money, the ones that are going to be your cash flow tasks, you know, those activities. And one of the things that I've developed that helps people to do that in a really, really quick, intense kind of way is my 10-day intensive with Min. So I just wanted to let you know about that, because at this time of the year, we have a massive to-do list, and we're trying to churn through it and prioritise and get the things done that really are going to make a difference in our business. And to be honest, finding the right shade of jacaranda isn't it, but if you can plough through this stuff, then you can get it done. So often, if you've got someone in your back pocket kicking your butt when you need it and making sure that you do the work, then that's how you get a large chunk of work done really, really fast. So this is one of my best offerings, and people tend to get just an incredible amount of work done in the 10 days that we work together. So what it is you get 2 30-minute laser coaching sessions with me, one at the beginning, so we work out a plan and what you're going to achieve, and we make a to-do list, and then one at the end to review. Now, in between those, during those 10 days, I touch base with you every single day, at least once via Facebook Messenger. And any time that you need me, I'm like your business bestie. I'm in your pocket, and you can jump in and use me however much you want for those 10 days. So it's really, really awesome value. It's only $147 for the whole thing, and to have me in your pocket to do all of that work for that 10 days, okay? So whether it's your branding that needs organising, or you need a swipe file of blog post titles, or you need to get your MailChimp account organised, or you build a content calendar, whatever it is, we can achieve that, usually in about 10 days. We can get it all done. So that product is on my website. So it's www.minjanini, GIANNINI.com, and it's under the Work with Min tab. So it always sits there. It's always available. It's one of my little evergreen products, and it's a great way to kind of kickstart this sort of stuff. If you think that you're going to be in procrastination land with this kind of thing, we can jump in and give you a hand with that. Okay, so that's the training. Is there any questions before we jump off? No?
It was really good. Thank you. It was really informative.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you liked it. Sorry that photo thing didn't work. I just got stumped, but I did say that I had brain fog today, didn't I? It's gone. I can't remember. Okay. All right. But if you get stuck at all, just give me a yell, and I'm happy to jump in and help you girls with that, okay?
Be easy.
You reckon?
Yeah. Simple.
Simple? Good. A lot of it's practice, a lot of it is just making a mistake and then figuring it out, and you don't make it again, right?
Yep.
I'm just hoping I can sack my graphic designer now, basically, and I can become my own graphic designer.
Well, you know what, Lisa? All your fonts and your designs are so simple, like the lines of them are so simple. Once you've got the logo there, you'll be good to go. Actually, that's what I wanted to show you, how to add a logo. I'll do that before I go. I knew there was something else, and I just didn't even write it down. Let me just do a quick share screen again before I let you go. Just when you thought you were going to go get a wine, right? Okay.
No more wine.
No more wine. All right. So let's say, for example, we wanted to add in this Canva logo. If this was our business logo, I would drag it over, make it smaller. Now, the thing with logos on designs is that they tend to kind of pop a little bit. They sort of jump out a bit too much. Usually I like to put them in the corner where the weight of the image is. So with this one, we've got all our text over one side, so the weight is kind of over to the right. Now, you can see that just looks a bit loud. It kind of takes away from the image and the words. So what I would do is I just pop up here and make this transparent, so it fades a little bit into the background, right? So it doesn't look as obvious, but it's still definitely there. It just kind of softens it, okay? The other thing that I wanted to show you was if I was to drag this over here, can you see how that's sitting on top of everything? Now, what I could actually do is, because that's an image, we can pop a filter on it. I can change that, just like Instagram images. Change the filter. I can make that grey, change the intensity of the filter, whatever I want to do. Okay, now what I want is for that to be sitting behind this one, okay? And it's clearly not. So what I'll do is I'll pop that back. And now you can see that the other one comes forward a bit. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you can do that with your images, and you can do it with these elements, the shapes as well. Okay. So if I wanted to put just a plain white circle in there, I don't know why I would, but if I did, I could pop that in there and move it back. I might move this one forward. So you can kind of arrange them like that, make a little design for yourself. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lisa. I think that there's a lot of this work that you can just bang out yourself. But again, you know, it's an opportunity cost thing, isn't it? And if your time is better spent, you know, making money in some other way, then it might be worth your while to keep paying. That's, you've got to kind of, if it's just a quickie little design you can do yourself, then maybe not so.
No, that's good. It's definitely, that's a really useful tool, actually. It's really, it's really,
yeah.
It's the cheat sort of graphic design tool. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It's I'd be lost without it, I think. Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to organise this email and get it out so that you guys and everyone else that signed up for this has got the recording, and it'll be on YouTube, and I'll try and remember to put all those links in of all the websites that I went to as well. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, girls. Bye.